And what is going on, my Houston Texans family? And welcome to the first Victory Tuesday on the Attack on Texans podcast. I am one part of your show, Ruben Calvillo. My co-host, the handsome man, AD from the Htown Rundown, Ep.4. Shout out to Fat Randy, wherever you are, Houston Texans legend. But AD, you're a season ticket member, as am I. However, you go to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Before we jump into this, we want to shout out Wheelhouse Media allowing us to come on here talk Houston Texans football. The Texans got a must win on Sunday. There's really no other way to put that. Entering this week, I'm not gonna lie, AD, I was scared.
Oh,
The thought of my season being over right before Halloween. It was breaking my heart. It was giving me anxiety. So to see the Houston Texans go out there and win in a way, which it's kind of rare that we're talking about the offense being the driving force of this game.
mm-hmm.
How are we feeling, man?
I'm feeling cautiously optimistic.
I love that.
Right now, the Texans went out and did something that they haven't done all season, which is beat a quality opponent.
Mm.
They went out. The 49ers are came into the game 5-2. Regardless of the injuries, regardless of all the stuff they have going on over there, they still been able to win games,
Hmm.
pull out games, against the likes of the LA Rams. So, coming in that game, they win against a quality opponent. It gives you that cautiously optimistic feel, and that the offense looked competent.
Hmm.
So you get that confidence building win. And right now, I'm on the ledge of could it be?
Oh.
Could it be?
And that's kind of what I am on as well. I don't want to immediately say, "Oh, the Houston Texan offense has figured itself out." I will say though, don't let anyone take this victory away from you. This was the Houston Texans' biggest win of the season. Your season was on the line. If you lost this game, I mean, me and AD said it on last episode. We need to start looking at the draft. If you lose this game against San Francisco, well, you get the dub, and now it's like, okay, the question stays the same. What is this Houston Texan offense? I will say though, if I can give you the half glass full, I would rather us be here right now, still not knowing what this offense can be, instead of knowing, what it could potentially been, right? Looking at the first 3 weeks of the season,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen the ceiling of this offense, and that's damn near 50 points against Baltimore. We've seen the low of this offense, 0 touchdowns against the LA Rams. AD, what is this Houston Texan offense, man?
It is a work in progress. is and
That's the only way you can say.
that's the only thing you can say because you've seen the flashes, you've seen the what could be, and then you see what has been. Um, and so right now you saw an offense where CJ Stroud, if I'm not mistaken, this was his first 300-yard passing game in a full calendar year.
Mm.
Um, and he distributed the ball all over the place. You saw Braxton Berrios get catches. You saw Xavier Hutchinson. You saw Jaden Higgins. You saw Jalen Noe. You saw Woody Marks. I mean, the ball was just spread. Dalton Schultz caught some key passes in this game.
Mhm.
So it was spread all over the place. And CJ Stroud looked like a different looked like a different quarterback. And definitely something to take and be positive about. So the offense is taking baby steps. We got to get the running game together, but
Mhm.
CJ Stroud as a passer looked way more comfortable this game than he has honestly all season. Even the Ravens game, he looked more comfortable this game than he did the Ravens game.
CJ Stroud, 30 of 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. However, they were trying to make something happen right before halftime. I'm not putting too much fault on him for that one. On the ground, 7 rushes for 30 yards, 4.3 yards a carry, a quarterback rating of 106.6.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, no one thought he was going to do this yesterday, right? Even as we were entering this week against San Francisco, it was said everywhere, even though everyone's banged up, the San Francisco 49ers have the coaching advantage. They have Robert Saleh. They have Shanahan. Well, the Texans coach and stuff, I mean, they won. They did their thing on Sunday against San Francisco. You got to give credit to Nick Caley. But CJ Stroud, like you mentioned, right, hasn't had a 300-yard game in a calendar year. He finally gets it, and he gets it against a well-coached San Francisco team.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we are cautiously optimistic. We don't want to say this offense has arrived because we need to see it 2 games in a row. AD, You could potentially see it this Sunday against Denver, but we'll get to Denver later on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this offensive line. AD 0 sacks allowed. I cannot believe I am saying that about a Houston Texan offensive line. I mean, there has to be 10 or less games, less than 10 games where the Houston Texans allowed 0 sacks.
Oh, for sure. And I'm going to say this because a lot of people will say, well, the 49ers are decimated on their defensive line. Last year, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if they had third stringer practice squad guys out there. They were still a turnstile. This is just showing the even, slight improvement of the
Mhm.
offensive line, that they're gaining confidence as a group. I still have issue with the rotating of the left guard. That's something that I don't know why, and I hate that it worked. It's bad to say that as a fan that I hate that it worked this game, but splitting that time with Juice between Juice and Lincoln Tomlinson is not a recipe for success
Mm.
the rest of this year. So they got to figure that out. It's either Lincoln or Juice, one or the other. Pick your side.
Which is why this morning, I was thinking if I win on Denver, not if when I
Yeah.
win on Sunday against Denver, I'm trying to get a left guard in the trade market. The
Mm-hmm.
Houston Texans, they have extra picks. Now, I probably won't be saying that if Laken Tomlinson was your full-time starter or Juice Scruggs was your
Mm-hmm.
full-time starter. These guys are rotating snaps. Like every other drive, it's either Laken or Juice at left guard. And, when you hear this conversation about quarterbacks, what do they say, AD? If you have two quarterbacks,
You have
you
none.
have none. And I kind of feel that way with the left guard spot. And, it did work on Sunday against San Francisco after it looked horrible on Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. It's just crazy how, this team is really week to week. But let's talk about that. The fact that this team bounced back. There were nasty conversations being held after that
Mm.
game. There was a lot of talk on all social media platforms. Hey, there's still there's still even some talk between the
Hey,
head
we
coach.
can talk about it.
Okay, let's jump right into it. Now there's two gentlemen who were I don't want to say the
We can say it. I mean,
no, 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 like I don't want to call them the culprits, but
but I mean, you good?
D'Amico Ryans has brought up that they don't listen to the outside noise. Now, I do find that to be false.
Mm-hmm.
Because multiple times, we've heard not only D'Amico, we've heard CJ Stroud say, "Oh, everyone's gonna say that we suck, fire everyone," and he just reiterated that that's not something that they pay attention to. And there was one quote that really got it going. Let me see if I can find it because it wasn't today. It was leading up to today. Well, like you even heard CJ Stroud saying after he got the game ball, they're not on the field. We are
Yeah.
talking about media war today. This is from Will Kunkel. Texans head coach D'Amico Ryan tries to end this press conference with "You guys good?" Reporters pushed back on Ryan's after he said no one wants to cover the positives with the Texans.
Yeah.
Kunkel adds, Ryan's is flat out wrong. There has been a ton of positives over the years. So it is clear D'Amico Ryans does not like the media.
No, he doesn't like specific media.
Oh, he doesn't like specific media. And
We know who they are, and we can call them out. We
I mean, it's not
we-
really calling out, because I think
everybody knows. Everybody
yeah,
knows who they are.
Landry Locker, DJ Bieniemy, they were the two guys, that were, the ones who spoke up after the comments from D'Amico, and to their point, um,
They were trying to attack on the Texans.
they were trying to attack on the Texans. Let me ask you something, AD. Is it bad that we criticize this team? I mean,
I mean, it's necessary that you criticize because you have to have a healthy balance.
you have to.
It can't be all happy go lucky. This team is perfect, even when it's clear that they're not.
Hmm.
And yeah, you got to find the little grains of salt, the little grains of positivity in the mess, that it was at the beginning of the season. But still, this team has Super Bowl aspirations,
Hmm.
and you come out 0-3, and you come out 1-4, 2-4, um, not 1-4, 0-3 and 2-4. That you have to be criticized because this is not that is not a Super Bowl caliber start to a season.
Hmm.
I don't think there's been any team that has won a Super Bowl that has started the way the Texans have started this year, record wise.
Mm.
So you get
Are we
that.
team media?
I'm. I think I'm on the fence. Like I see it both ways. Like I understand
Go
D'Amico
ahead. Go ahead.
Ryan.
Finish your take because
Yeah,
I'm locking in.
yeah. Look, you got to be critical of the
Hmm.
team, but you also have to do it with some responsibility and not do it for the clicks. There's been a
Mm.
lot of, and we can call him Andrew Lockers does a lot of things for the clicks. He has a lot of hot takes. And what irritates me personally is when you bring up stuff consistent. DJ Bieniemy is at fault for doing that as well. Bringing up stuff for 2, 3 years ago, bringing stuff up, from before D'Amico got here, and kind of like trying to tie these things in together. In some ways, it may make sense, but in a lot of ways, it's just fodder to just create drama.
Mm.
Um, and I'm gonna say this because I said it on the Htown Rundown before. The best time in Houston media, the last decade, where the media members, radio, sports radio, newspapers, anybody that worked in media, content creators, anybody that worked in media, any form of media, was when we had the drama with Deshaun Watson and all of that, the trade requests, the
Hmm.
women, the scandal, all of that stuff, the firing of coaches year after year, the losing seasons, just the drama and piled on top of other drama. That was the best time for those Houston media members because that's when you get paid for clicks, man. And this is the day and age we live in where you get paid for clicks, and they got a lot of clicks.
Now, to be, if I could give, now to be fair, Landry was not there during the Watson year on his on his channel.
Not on his channel, but he was on the radio.
Oh, okay, 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 okay,
He
okay. All
was
right.
on the radio, so he was here. Landry was here.
Yeah,
DJ
for sure.
Bieniemy was here. All of these people were here.
Was DJ here for the Watson?
DJ, I think
Well,
DJ's
Watson.
first year was Deshaun Watson when we
Mm.
got Cully. Dude, at the end of that, I think his first year was when we got Cully.
And
Cully
Stingley.
and
No,
Stingley.
okay.
Yeah,
It was Smith then.
yeah. So it was right then, and they were in the heart of it with all the trade, Deshaun Watson trade, and drama with the women, and all of that stuff. They were in the midst of it all, and I think that right now, D'Amico had a point because we were bringing it back
Mhm.
full circle because we're talking about the press conference D'Amico Ryans had today with the few media members. It was a small group, and he had a valid point that harping on the negative and not finding any positive is not a way that you should go about doing business. And I think that that's where we are with the media right now is that it's more entertaining and people will come and listen if you're talking about drama right now because we're losing,
Mm.
or we were losing. If you're talking about, hey, well, yeah, we're losing games,
I've
but
only seen one person talk about drama though.
oh,
It was from the Gallant and DJ Enemy show.
yeah, but I mean, to
Not
me,
even telling us anything, just gave us like a little yeah.
sprinkle of whatever, that it's all crumbling down, and
Mm.
you know it's about to be over, and just everybody, the McNair. I think the comment was the McNairs are going to have to go in and have a hard decision on who
Yeah.
stays, who goes, and all that stuff like that.
All right, let's play hypothetical. Let's play hypothetical. Let's play
Insinuating D'Amico
hypothetical.
leaving. Mhm.
So for DJ to say that, what do you think happened? I think there was a behind closed doors like argument
Oh,
between coaches and players, like a
mhm.
verbal one that got pretty bad
Yeah, but this is the thing. Those type of things happen all the time.
all the time.
Those things happen, like, we see it clear as day on the sideline for other teams.
Yeah.
Like, look at the mess that Cleveland's in. Look at the mess
Mhm.
that the Jets are in, where the coaches are fighting with the owners and players and all. Like, it's a mess around the league. So this isn't uncommon. But because the Texans are so tight-lipped about everything, you sprinkle a little I don't want to say pixie dust. You sprinkle a little mess dust, a
Mhm.
little drama dust around. It gets people ears popping up because, hey, you start having the Brian Windhorst fingers,
Yeah.
that something is up because we don't normally hear anything. So if
No,
we get a little sprinkle of something,
you got to take it.
then we got to take it and just blow it up because we don't hear anything. So I think that's what happened. Like I don't put it past that there's been disagreements and arguments and going back and forth. I mean, with the CJ Gardner Johnson release, a little bit of that came out with how he reacted, and he didn't get along with certain people and coaches, and how he wasn't perceived well in the locker room. I think that goes to say that there has been arguments with D'Amico Ryans and his players. There
Mhm.
has been arguments with Kaylee and the players, and there has been a lot of disagreements and going back and forth. And hell, it's probably arguments with Nick Casario, and coaches that has been going on. But at the end of the day,
You
it
won,
shouldn't be.
so it's like
You, I would rather have that than them play all nice and friendly and everything's all kumbaya,
fair.
then act like everything's okay when it's not, like the old meme with the dog sitting there and the
Yeah.
house is on fire, like everything's fine. No, it's not. So
Mhm.
I'm okay with that. It's just don't tease me with something, you know, and don't deliver.
Mhm.
So that's the problem with
And I
these.
think that's where I fall on D'Amico's side.
Hmm.
It's like, and we also see a situation where Mike Vrabel in New England, he
Hmm.
hates his media. He like
Hmm.
he despises them because there's, quote unquote rats, and there absolutely is. Um, D'Amico not liking the media, I don't have a problem with. I don't care if he likes me. I don't care if he if he doesn't like anyone. However, to say that the media has only spoken negative about Houston. I mean, what were the last 2 years before this year?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
growing. Well,
that's where I'm like, all right, D'Amico, come on now. You
there,
like we were calling you coach of the year, like the
yeah,
new dynasty, like how many people were so ecstatic when D'Amico became head coach of the team? So it's like, you have to take your licks, coach.
yeah, you got to, but I think it started last year too, though. I think the tide started turning. Like everybody was happy go lucky D'Amico's first year. I
Mhm.
mean, and all right too, because you're coming from a 3-13-1 season to a 10-7 season, going to the playoffs, winning the division on the last game of the season, on prime time, going to the playoff game and smoking the Cleveland Browns. Nobody expect, like, you're doing everything nobody expected.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, rookie of the offensive rookie of the year, Will Anderson, defensive rookie of the year, and nobody's expected any of that happened, right?
Mhm.
So it just caught everybody by surprise. Now your expectation is set. You go into the next year, your offensive line is a train wreck,
Mhm.
and the Stephon Diggs situation doesn't work out middle of the season. You lose Stephon Diggs. So then you go on, you lose Tank Dell. And again. And so it's just a lot of that decision making and roster construction fell on D'Amico when it should have been falling on Nick Casario.
Mm.
And so I think D'Amico started hearing the noise because again, you played a great divisional game against the Kansas City Chiefs. You almost pulled it out, but you didn't. And so because of that, all eyes were on you and what you're doing in the offseason, right?
You didn't do nothing.
And you didn't do anything. And so now you come out. Now, if you would have come out the start of the season 5-0 or 4-1,
We're not having these
we're not
conversations.
having this conversation at all because you win the games. But to D'Amico's point, every game we've lost, what, 4 games this year, right?
Mhm.
We lost against the Rams 5 points, one possession. We lost against the Buccaneers 1 point, one possession. We lost against Jacksonville Jaguars 7 points, one possession. Seattle Seahawks 8 points, one possession. Every loss has been a one possession game. Trade in one play for another, and you could talk about right now the Texans could technically be what, undefeated or only having one loss.
Yeah.
And that conversation is different, but because you're losing, people are going to have those what they call tiki torches. They're
Mhm.
gonna have the tiki torches out because they want playoffs, they want divisional round or better. And right now, that's what you have to get to. Even if you don't, which the division right now looks kind of like,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
don't even worry about the
yeah,
division. Let Indy take it. Right now, worry about the wild card.
yeah. Just get there. Just get in the playoffs, which is what you need to do, and then worry about the rest later. But at the end of the day, you still have everything in front of you. You
Mm.
go in, you win this next game against Denver. Now you 500. And now the slate is clean at that point.
Mm-hmm.
and you're 9 games. You have 9 games to make the playoffs, and so I look at it. Everybody still has to play everybody. Buffalo
Mm-hmm.
still has to play New England again. I think I said it before on the podcast. Jacksonville still has to play Indy. They have to play
Twice.
us again. Yeah, they have to play Indy twice, play us. Everybody in front of us. Kansas City still has to play the Chargers again. I forgot who else is in their division. They have to play the Broncos.
Mm.
They have to play the Broncos. Broncos have to play the Chiefs and the Chargers. So it's a lot. It's going to be a bloodbath going towards the end of the season when you get into those divisional games. And so a lot of these teams that are sitting at the top are going to have some losses and to give you an opportunity to catch up. But at the end of the day, take it game by game. But the media, I just feel like they have to be better, man. Like that exchange, and if you want to, I'm gonna let you go ahead with it. But that exchange between DJ
No, keep
Bieniemy,
on. This is fun.
yeah, the exchange between D'Amico and freaking Landry Locker and DJ Bieniemy was, to me, I just think it was unprofessional because
Oh, come on now, dude. This is media now.
it's
Come
media
on,
now. But
AD.
when I use the word unprofessional, I use it's not the first part, because if people, everybody at this point should have watched the exchange, and it's not the first part of the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's not them asking the questions about you know the positive, negative, responding to him saying that the media has been negative and they've been harping on the negativity and all that stuff. It's the going back and asking it again after he already hit you with the "you good,
Mm.
y'all good," like basically. And everybody knows, and this is for a black person. I'm sorry. This is a black person. When a black man or a black person says "you good," that means like that's it. Like like, well, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a dead to conversation phrase. So for DJ to go, and it's on DJ, because DJ and Landry kind of tag teamed on the original point. I'm not that you have every right and valid to do, but it was like, what are you expecting D'Amico to say? And you double back on it, and
Okay. Well, if I could play devil's advocate, I would
yeah,
expect him to say, "Well, yeah, you guys have been, have before,
hmm,
but lately." And then I would, who's saying fire him? I mean, fire Nick Caley for sure,
yeah.
but
People are there. There is a portion of the fan base that, and I've said it before, like if we were to end the season 2-15, or whatever, not winning more than 4 games, there's a case to fire everybody in the building.
mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, D'Amico Ryans has done enough, and we said it, realistically
Yeah,
speaking, he's done enough right now that one losing season or one
is
less than
not.
stellar
Mhm.
season is not a fireable offense. But at the end of the day, people are going to look for the headline. And if you firing Nick Casario doesn't garner a lot of ears, because at the end of the day, people felt like Nick should have been gone. Around the league, people felt like Nick should have been gone.
Mm.
Um, Nick Haley, if the offense was looking as piss poor as it's been looking, nobody would have blinked the eye that he's a Texans fired Nick Haley after one season, and then you go up and put up the numbers of the offense, and you're like, well, holy crap. You're not winning games. The defense is doing everything, the best defense in the league, numbers wise, and your offense can't get you over the hump to win the games.
Mm.
And so people can understand that. What people will not understand, and what people will question, and the Texans organization will come under a lot of scrutiny, is if you let go of D'Amico Ryans as well, then it's like, well, this is a coach that just took you to 2 divisional round
Yeah,
games, and just won two AFC South championships, and you fire him after one not so great season. And so that's where the drama, and here we go all over again. The Texans is a trash organization. The Texans don't know how to run a good organization. All of that stuff starts up all over again. Then you have the racial side. Oh, they're firing black coaches again, and you have those people that'll stick on that point and go through all this rigmarole. But I just think that it's for the clicks, it's for the excitement. Let's be real. DJ Bieniemy is a very good reporter. He got to take the helmet of shame off.
I gotta take it out. We're
uh,
getting real. We're getting real.
but D'Amico Ryan, I mean DJ Enemy is been a decent reporter,
Mhm.
but nobody's been saying let's go to DJ Enemy for anything since he's been here, and that's just being honest. People have gone to other reporters and other outlets before they touched on DJ Enemy. People that are no longer here, they were going to even like the Chancellor Johnsons and all those guys and people that were Jonathan Alexander, all those other people were going to them before they touched on DJ Enemy, Aaron Wilson, those reporters
Mhm.
and those, getting the information from there. But now eyes are on DJ Enemy. Same thing with Landry Locker. Landry Locker had a platform on Sports Radio 610. So of course people were going to ride with Landry and take his opinions and everything like that. But now, Landry, you're a freelancer in so many words. And the steam has let off of who you are. Like I think I said it on the Htown Rundown, him asking questions to Derek Stingley about um CJ Garner Johnson and all that stuff when that happened, like weird questions. So it's like you're trying to get spicy answers so that you can come back and have something to say or whatever. But it's like a catch-22. You're in that mode of like
I
you want the team to be
But
held
isn't
accountable.
that what we've been asking for though from the media the last couple of
Definitely.
years is to ask,
Yeah.
like ask the hard questions and it's not like Landry Locker and DJ Enemy are just doing this just to do it, right? You started off the season 0-3.
Hmm.
We just said if we're 5-0, 6-0, we're not having the conversation. It's just crazy that this is happening because this is and this episode has really, gone off course, but this is the first time in like the D'Amico era, we're seeing some I call it beef right between him and the media.
Yeah, I mean,
This is exciting.
yeah, it's definitely the
It could get
spiciness.
much worse though. Like go look at what's happening in New York, which is why I
Yeah.
look at our situation and I'm just like, we're
You know
we
what?
haven't handled hard
No,
media
no,
here
it's
in
been
Houston.
soft, and I'm on record because I was pissed off about the
Asking
soft
a
part.
question about a hat.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
that
rather ask about
yeah,
CJ Gardner Johnson than a freaking hat.
right. And so I'm of the belief that it's showing D'Amico Ryans is not scared to handle the questions. And so that is a
Fair.
positive. And D'Amico Ryans is like, if you want to go, we can go. If
Mhm.
you wanna, if you want to sit up here and you want to act crazy and ask me stupid questions, I'll give you stupid answers. Like, you good? Y'all good? Like, so if you what they say, if you want to play stupid games, you can win stupid prizes. So
I always say,
um
man, you want to rodeo with this clown? It gets crazy. But the fact that this happened after a win
mhm.
is fun.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fun. But
It's never a dull moment, man.
but I will say though, I don't think it's just D'Amico versus media. I think it's the Houston Texans versus
Mhm.
the media. So if D'Amico and CJ and all them need to look at us and say shut the hell up and
Mhm.
we're the reason why they're gonna go out there on Sunday and beat the hell out of the Denver Broncos, well hell, I'm gonna keep on saying someone should get fired after a freaking loss, right? If I have to be the bad guy, if we the media have to be the bad guy, we have to be the bulletin board material. If not me, then who?
Right. And to the credit, man, the fan base is being heard, which is a positive
Yes.
because the DJ,
Great point, right? Right. He
yeah,
hears Landry, he
yeah,
hears DJ, he hears, all of us, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie. At some point, it does get to you. It does
yeah.
get to you.
Like they can sit up here and sugarcoat it that CJ Stroud and D'Amico can come up on every press conference and sugarcoat it and say they're not listening or they don't hear it. That's a lie. We
Mm.
all know that's a lie. Like, you know, and it's just the fact that DJ Enemy, Landry Locker are getting it from somewhere. They're not just popping it up in their head. As much credit to them as they're very hardworking people, but let's be real, the fan base and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all the social media platforms and the comments all over the place, that's where they're getting the energy and the questions and ideas from. So yes, the fan base is being heard. And let's be real, Texan social medias are hearing things. I'm gonna point this out.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Whoa,
point this
whoa,
out.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You're okay. All right. I've been peeping
Mm-hmm.
the way the Texans themselves have ran their social media as of
Mm-hmm.
late. Looks a little bit like, what some YouTubers got going on here. Meme wise, joke
Mm-hmm.
wise, I'm glad it's not just me.
That part and some personnel in the building are listening to fans' comments as well. Because what was our complaint after we talked about the Seattle game? What happened to the quarterback sneak?
What happened? It
Yeah.
came back. Oh,
So right. So
Jalen Noel,
Jalen
punt
Noel,
returner.
all of the back at punt returner, all of the comments and issues that we had, they looked at it, they heard it, and they went and implemented. We saw CJ
But
Stroud
that's
do like
why, but
four quarterback sneaks.
that's where I go back, and to counter your argument from before. I'm like, who were the guys asking those questions? DJ me and Landry
Mm-hmm.
Locker. They were the ones asking questions about the quarterback sneak, the
Mm-hmm.
lack of Derek Stingley pressing JSN. So it's really a double-edged sword when you talk about media, man. But I will
Yeah.
say, it's the most spicy it's been in a very long time. I myself hope it gets even spicier. I hope that they allow me and AD in there and we could turn it up even more. But
Man.
this was a fire episode of the Attack on Texans podcast, episode 4. Shout out to Fat Randy. That
Mm-hmm.
was AD from the Htown
Hey.
Rundown. I am Ruben from 713 Houston Sportcast. Shout out to to Wheelhouse Media. We love
Mm-hmm.
you guys. Have a blessed one.